Hello, this is dboypompeyreturns with, once again, another audio rambling, if you like. So this is going to be another one of my Portsmouth food reviews, and this one I'm going to be focusing on Istanbul Grill. So let's get on with this one. Okay, so this is the Istanbul Grill restaurant I'm talking about in Portsmouth. Another one on Fratton Road, actually. I remember I spoke about the other one, the Anwars. I think that was on Fratton Road. So this one's on the Fratton Road as well. A lot more down though, so you have to go right the way, quite a bit more back. But yeah, it's on that Fratton Road. Istanbul Grill is a mixture of quite a few different types of food, but mainly they focus on but there's a couple of influences there. Obviously, by the name Istanbul Grill, they do a lot of kebabs and sort of Turkish sort of things like that. When you've got sort of doner kebabs and shish kebabs and kofkis and things like that. But they do, you know, your English dishes. They do fish and chips, chicken and chips. They do your burgers and the pizzas. So there's all that kind of stuff. There's quite a few stuff out there. I decided to choose Istanbul Grill for my next review because it is a very, very good takeaway place. I mean, been going there for quite some time and never had too many problems with it. They're always on time. Food's always really nice and it's quite cheap considering. So I'll just tell you a little bit about what they've got on their menu. I know I hinted at it just a second ago, but just go into a little bit in detail. So you've got your kebabs, and they can sort of range. Well, they do 3 sizes, and we'll talk about large, small, large, and super. And they do, you know, their normal kebabs. Your chicken, your doner, your shish, your chicken kebabs. And they do mixed grills and sort of ones that aren't so well known, like their halap kebabs, which is spiced doner kebab on pita bread with butter and Anatolian sauce, and they have the Adana kebab as well. This is minced lamb with Adana sauce, sorry. And they do wraps as well, doner wraps. So you can have them in small or large. They have combination kebabs as well, so I think is a really good idea because when you know sometimes I've had when you've had one or the other, like a chicken or a lamb. Or whatever it is, kebab, and you kind of want a little bit of both. They actually have that on there, so you can get that in small or large. So you can get a chicken kebab and a doner kebab, or a shish and a doner kebab, and a chicken and a doner with a lamb doner. You know, so you get a bit of both. It's really, really quite good. And then you got sort of little chicken bits here. You get roast chicken and chips, and chicken nuggets and chips. And they're on there. They have burgers, so quarter pounders, half pounders, cheese or not. You get a vegetarian burger. There's egg burgers, bacon burger. There's a messy burger, which I'm not quite sure what that is, but I've never had that before. But burgers from Istanbul are really, really nice and really nice and flavourful. The meat is absolutely superb. They do it on the grill, so it's really, really nice. Best kind of meat you can get hold of. Really, really smashing. They have fish as well. So you got cod and chips, scampi and chips, fish fingers and chips. There's also one there, and you got your extras like your onion rings, garlic bread, coleslaw, all that sort of stuff. So as well as the sort of the normal menu that I've just spoken, they do have a kids menu, which ranges from about £1 to £2.50, and that includes meat, sausage, burgers and chips and fish and chicken. So there's quite a few options there. But really, I would say, I mean, pay a little bit more and go for the small if you've got a kid, because I mean when we buy for my young nephews, for example. I mean, my youngest nephew can easily down a small adult burger, and that's only a couple of quid more. So, and you get more really. It's just you can easily handle it. So, it depends on your child, I guess. But generally, I wouldn't bother too much with the kids menu unless you're talking about quite young kids. Okay, desserts and drinks. You've got your ice cream, sweets, and they do milkshakes as well. You get canned drinks, Pepsi and Fanta and what have you. So all kinds of choices there. And then you have your pizzas. So I forgot I think it was right at the back here. And they do them pizzas in 9, 12, and 15-inch. And they can you got your usuals, your margaritas, your farmhouse, your wines, but there's also a couple of ones that you do on here. They have an Istanbul Express pizza, which is red onions, mushrooms, green peppers, spicy beef, sausage and pepperoni. I've not had that. It sounds quite nice though. And they do have a kebab della, which is basically red onions, red peppers, and doner meat on a pizza. So that again could be quite interesting, could be quite nice. And they have finest pizzas and chicken special pizzas, but check them out, if ever that's what you want to do. Okay, so on to the actual pricing now. Small, I mean, kebabs anyway. I'll be here forever if I check every single price, but I'll just sort of go down what I can do in sort of a couple of minutes. I mean, your kebabs, they range from 4 to about £7.5. You got your combo kebabs there again. They're a bit more expensive, £4.5 to about £7 quid, £7.50, something like that. Your burgers, they can sort of go from about £2.50 to about £4.50 or so. And now you got your sort of general prices, that sort of thing. One thing that did catch my attention when I was looking through this menu here. It's something I thought was a really, really good deal. It was on the extras, and you get chicken wings, a 6-piece chicken wing for £3. So it's really pretty good, pretty good value for money, I'd say, on that one. So that's really, really good. And I mean, I can't really say too much bad about Istanbul Grill. I mean, like I say, I've been going for quite a few years. Never had a problem. I know that they did recently move, but I don't think it was very far away. But just Google them, get the numbers or whatever if you're interested. If you live in Fratton or live in the nearby area, it's a really good take on kebabs and burgers and pizzas. You can get some really good stuff there. Okay, so I'll talk about a little bit about then sort of like the deals they offer. You get a free can of Pepsi on any orders over £14. You get a free 1.5 litre Pepsi bottle when all orders of over £16. I believe they can be collection or delivery. I'm not quite sure about that. They do what they call a mega hot meal, which is any super pizza, garlic bread or potato wedges, and 1.5 litre bottle for 12 quid. So you get a couple of good things there. Home delivery is free for over £6 and within a 5-mile radius. So if you live within 5 miles of Fratton Road and you're into fancy a burger or fancy a kebab, check them out. They allow for a minimum of 30 minutes, but generally they say sort of 30 to 45 minutes. But they're most of the time, almost 95% of the time, they are on time, really prompt. So it's really good. Okay, so that's pretty much all I've got to say as far as Istanbul Grill goes. I mean, very, very good food, really reasonable prices, and actually I kind of think, looking at them, they're one of the cheapest that I can actually see. Really, so that's a mega bonus. Wide selection, so you get quite a lot of different things. Don't just focus on one thing. So good selection, really prompt, good service. They're usually on time, and you get good courteous service, which is really good. Can be a tad on the busy side sometimes, especially on a Friday or Saturday night. So call maybe a little bit earlier than you would because they do get a little bit busy, from what I've found. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. Istanbul Grill, really top-notch place, or top-notch takeaway in Portsmouth. Check it out if you want a good selection of food. Yeah, and I'll give them a 9 out of 10. Really, I mean, I can't really. You know what? Actually, no. I'm going to change that 9 out of 10. I'm going to give them a 10 out of 10 because I seriously can't find anything to fault them. Yeah, I mean, already, this is only my second review or my third review of this Portsmouth Food, and already a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, I may be being generous, but I honestly can't, on the top of my head, think of anything bad to say about Istanbul Grill. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with that 10 out of 10. Istanbul Grill gets 10 out of 10 for me. If you like I say, check them out if you like a good range of food, from kebabs, from chicken, from burgers, from pizzas. Really give them a go. They're definitely worth your money. You'll be really surprised at how good their food is. It's smashing. Okay, so thank you for listening, and this has been dboypompey returns with another Portsmouth food review, and thank you for listening once again. Bye bye for now.